Welcome back to Engineer Math Academy. In our previous lesson, we discussed the second law of indices, the division rule. So in today's lesson, we are going to discuss the third law of indices, the power of a power rule. But what does that mean? Calm down. Let's use this problem to demonstrate it. On the board, we have 2 raised to the power of 2 raised to the power of 3. This is why this law is called the power of a power rule, because 2 is raised to power 2 and raised to another power 3. When we have this kind of problem, what do? We have 2 options: the expansion method or the law of indices. So let's see the expansion method. 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 3 means that 2 raised to power 2 multiplied itself 3 times. That is 2 raised to power 2 times 2 raised to power 2 times 2 raised to power 2. 2 raised to power 2 multiplied itself 3 times. Recall that if we expand this, we have 2 times 2. 2 raised to the power of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Now let's clear the brackets. Yes, let's remove the brackets. We now have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Now 2 multiplied itself how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this gives us 2 raised to power 6. This is the expansion method. But the third law of indices, the power of a power rule, says there's a better, shorter and easier method to do this. Let's try that out. This law states that a raised to power m and raised to power n is equals to a m n. What does this mean? It means that if a number with a power is raised to another power, we retain the number and multiply the powers. Let's apply the rule to this problem. So we have 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 3. Since this is a power raised to another power, we apply this rule by saying the base number here is 2. Then we multiply the powers 2 times 3, and that will give us 2 raised to the power of 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. Let's try another example. Say 3 raised to the power 4 squared. 3 raised to the power 4 is raised to another power. So applying this law means that 3 is raised to the power 4 times 2, and that will give us 3 raised to the power 8. One more, then we call it a wrap. B raised to the power 5 raised to the power 3. B is raised to the power 5 and they are raised to power 3. So we can apply the power of a power rule. This will give us b raised to the power 5 times 3, and that is b raised to the power 15. That is that, the power of a power rule done and dusted. You will notice that applying the laws of indices made our work easier, simpler and even shorter. That is the way to go. When you see problems with indices, try to remember the laws and apply them. Then watch out for common mistakes that you need to avoid. If you do that, you'll be crushing indices when you see them in your WAEC. If you gain from this lesson, please like and share the video so that other students like you will also benefit from it. And if you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you are waiting for. Subscribe so that you don't miss the next lesson, where we are going to look into the fourth law of indices, the law of zero powers, when the power of a number is 0. I will see you in the next one.